I, Aksha, and my friend Avishik Kare are going to talk about ML for Land, which we have been working on for the past 2 months. We would like to take a moment to thank all the mentors for the constant support that they have given. Without them, we would not be able to do what we have done so far. So, before talking about the problem itself, we would like to understand why this problem exists and why are we interested in solving it. So we are making a study on land surface temperature, which is the radiative skin temperature of the Earth's surface. Land surface temperature is used to understand the heating patterns of the Earth's surface, which could be from different periods of time, and it could tell us how different regions of the Earth are heating throughout the time period. Understanding this heating patterns could also lead us to understand various other patterns as well. For example, land use patterns of the Earth's surface. Um, Moving on, so is there any solution or a tool that actually helps us in predicting land surface temperature? Uh, Turns out ERA5 has a reanalysis tool which provides us with the skin temperature, uh, but there are some shortcomings with ERA5 skin temperature. It is at a coarser resolution of 31 kilometers, which is not something that you would want. You would want our solution to be having a very high resolution, for example, 1 kilometer or 500 meters. Skin temperature can sometimes be not as accurate as land surface temperature, which is predicted by the ground truth satellite observations. And thus, we would want a system that is effectively able to predict the land surface temperature at a very high resolution. So let's move on and formally define the problem statement that we have. Uh, so the problem statement is that we have to learn a mapping from the modeled world, which is the ERA5 in our case, to ground truth satellite observations, which will provide us land surface temperature. We use NASA MODIS data to provide us with the land surface temperature values. This resulting tool that will learn the mapping that between the model world and the satellite observations will also help us understand many other things as well. For example, it will help us understand what variables are actually affecting the prediction of land surface temperatures and how the change in these variables and the values of these variables are going to affect the changes in the values of the land surface temperatures. It can also help us detect places where the observations and predictions are differing significantly. And this could be due to various boundary or edge cases, for example, natural calamities, forest fires, and other calamities like these, which can change the values of land surface temperature significantly. So overall, in an overview, we would want our tool to take in ERA5 variables as an input and give out land surface temperature as an output. And to do this, we take NASA MODIS data.
Okay, so now that we've understood the problem and the motivation behind it, let's take a look at how we actually plan to achieve it. So we've divided this into a four-part process, starting with the first and the most important part of data collection. So we would need to collect important variables, including ERA5 reanalysis variables for input, MODIS LST variable for output, and the ERA5 skin temperature values for comparison. All of this data needs to be collected and appropriately pre-processed before it is fed to any ML model. The second part of the process would be to estimate land surface temperature for individual sites or for points on the map. By doing this, we understand how easy or tough it is to actually predict land surface temperature and which variables, or rather, which input variables would be the most important in predicting land surface temperature. Once we have a smaller set of input variables to look at, we could move to a larger scale, that is, from points or individual sites to states, cities, countries, and continents as a whole. And we could build models which would then help us in estimating land surface temperature. The final and the most ambitious goal, which we do not aim to complete as a part of this project, but which would be the ultimate goal, would be to predict land surface temperature for the entire globe. So far we have looked at the first two steps in this process, and we would be starting with the third step soon. So let's take a look at the machine learning pipeline used for this project. So as land surface temperature is a real valued variable, we would be modeling it as a regression problem. We would have some training data from step 1 in the previous roadmap, and using that to train an ML model. This ML model would then predict some land surface temperature values, which can be improved by calculating relevant errors with the actual MODIS ground truth values. This error can be propagated back to the model so that it understands how to make better LST predictions in the future. Once we have trained the model substantially, we could then use any new data or testing data and provide that to the ML model. Once this data is provided to the model, we can expect the model to actually output some accurate LST predictions for this new data. So this is a generic ML pipeline, irrespective of how you want to or which scale you want to predict LST for. That is irrespective of point, regional, or global estimation. However, we've looked at point estimation so far, and we'd like to provide some details on that. So for point estimation, we considered 10 European sites, both for training and testing data. For the months of February and August, the entire data set comprised of data from the year 2000 to 2021, and it was divided into training and testing data, such that the training data had all the data points up to 2018, and from 2019 we have the testing data. For the ML models, we considered linear regression, random forest, and other similar simple ML models in order to predict land surface temperature and also understand which input features are the most important. So this was not an easy journey so far, and we have come across certain challenges. The first major challenge was that the ground truth data was insufficient. That is, the MODIS LST values were not many to begin with. In order to solve this, we imputed the missing values by taking aggregates from neighboring locations around the site. So we build a bounding box around the site, and we see if there are any MODIS LST values and aggregate them to actually report the value for that given site. This resulted in a 57% increase in the number of data points, and more data equals better models. So this was definitely a good starting point. The second challenge that we faced was that there was a lot of difference in the time scale of ERA5 reanalysis variables and MODIS land surface temperature. So ERA5 variables are present on an hourly basis, whereas MODIS provides daily values for land surface temperature. In order to bridge this gap, we aggregated ERA5 hourly variables to report daily aggregates and use these to build a day-wise model. So our model predicted land surface temperature for a given day using input aggregates from ERA5. Another challenge that we faced was to incorporate sufficient regional representation. That is, we didn't want to have sites which were all of the same type, as that would not help in learning much. In order to solve this, we considered a balanced set of urban and rural locations. More specifically, we had 10 European sites with 4 diverse dominant land types so that the model has enough variety to look at and can learn better. So coming over to the most interesting part, which are the results that we've seen so far. So the first important result is that whichever models we built, so the best models that we had were better than ERA5 skin temperature values. More specifically, for a model built for all the locations that we saw a 1 Kelvin lower root mean squared error. That is, we were more or less 1 Kelvin closer to the actual values than ERA5. And a model built specifically for a city of London, we saw a 0.5 Kelvin decrease in the root mean squared error. So here is a brief comparison of ERA5 skin temperature and our predicted LST values when compared to the ground truth data for London in the month of February 2019. So the orange line represents our model predictions and the blue line represents ERA5 skin temperature. And we can see that the orange line is closer to many points as opposed to the ERA5 skin temperature values. The second important result from our work so far has been to find the important features which we can use to build a regional model later. We saw that irrespective of the number of sites we picked, we saw a very consistent set of top 5 features. That is, the top 5 features were more or less the same across locations and across months. Uh, a very important observation was that 2-meter temperature was the most important feature, and that is consistent with what we know from analysis. Here are the top 5 features that we've seen for some cases, and we wish to refine this list so that we are sure that these are the actual features that affect prediction. So that's what we've done so far. And later on, we would be wrapping up on point estimation, that is finding a more crisp list of input features that would be more helpful in predicting land surface temperature, and then extending this to find LST values for a given region. Being more ambitious, it would be the entire continent of Europe. And we hope to present that the next time we see all of you. Once again, thank you for giving us this opportunity. And we hope you like our work, and we are open to any suggestions and questions now. Thank you.